Have you ever heard of a bird so powerful it can snatch a full-grown monkey straight from the treetops? What if I told you it has claws bigger than a grizzly bear's and the strength to lift animals almost its own size? There's a silent predator in the rainforest, nearly invisible, deadly precise, and crowned with a face that looks almost human. Its piercing eyes scan the jungle floor from above. Its wings slice through the air without a sound. It looks like something out of mythology, and yet it's real and terrifyingly majestic. What is this bird? How does it hunt? Why is it so feared, and yet so rarely seen? And why is such a magnificent creature quietly disappearing from our planet? Today, we dive deep into the world of the harpy eagle, the most powerful bird of prey in the Americas. You'll discover its incredible strength, its wild hunting skills, and the secrets of its life high in the jungle canopy. If you're fascinated by the wild, just like we are, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment at the end to tell us what you think. And if you want to take your bird knowledge even further, check out my ebook, The Ultimate Bird Facts Collection, 30 Surprising Truths, available now for just $7.99. Link in the description. Let's begin. Deep within the remote and tangled rainforests of Central and South America, far from the hum of cities and the touch of human hands, lives one of nature's most awe-inspiring and elusive predators, the harpy eagle. With its massive body, ghostly presence, and myth-like appearance, it rules the upper canopy as both hunter and phantom. Standing nearly a meter tall and boasting a wingspan of over 2 meters, this bird is built like a tank with wings. Its legs are thicker than a human's wrist, and its curved talons, longer than a grizzly bear's claws, are capable of crushing bones with a single strike. But what truly sets the harpy apart is how it wields that power. Unlike most raptors that soar in open skies, the harpy navigates tight spaces between trees, darting through the jungle with uncanny precision. Its wings, surprisingly short for its size, are perfectly adapted for agility rather than distance. This design allows it to stalk silently among the dense foliage, remaining hidden until the moment it strikes. 1 second the jungle is still, the next a monkey vanishes from the treetops, taken by something no one saw coming. Local tribes have long considered the harpy eagle more than just an animal. It is woven into folklore and legend. Some believe it guards the forest spirits, others speak of it as an omen, a creature of the gods. Its haunting eyes, framed by a feathered crown that rises like a warrior's headdress, give it a look that feels both ancient and intelligent. It doesn't just live in the jungle, it commands it, embodying both its beauty and its brutality. To understand the harpy eagle is to step into a world few ever truly witness, one where raw power, stealth, and mystery intertwine in perfect balance. At first glance, the harpy eagle seems like a relic from a lost era, a creature that should belong in a prehistoric jungle alongside saber-toothed cats and giant sloths. Everything about its body screams power, from the massive barrel-like chest that fuels its immense wing muscles to the thick muscular legs built for explosive bursts of strength. The harpy is nature's version of a heavyweight champion. But what's even more fascinating is how that strength has been so perfectly engineered for life in the canopy. Unlike the wide-winged vultures and hawks that ride thermals high in open skies, the harpy's wings are shorter and broader, allowing it to twist and turn through narrow gaps between tree trunks and vines. It doesn't need long flights. It needs bursts of movement, short and sudden, like a forest ninja striking from the shadows. This design lets the harpy patrol a dense green maze where most birds would be grounded or hopelessly tangled. And then there are the talons, true weapons of war. Each rear talon can measure up to 13 centimeters in length, longer than a grizzly's claw. They're not just sharp, they're thick, curved like meat hooks, and brutally efficient. With a grip, strength estimated at over 500 pounds per square inch, the harpy doesn't need a second chance. When it strikes, it's over. Even large monkeys or sloths don't stand a chance. The harpy locks its claws and carries the prey away without even landing, flying off with a lifeless body dangling in silence. Even its facial structure plays a role in its hunting prowess. Those stern eyes sit forward-facing, giving it binocular vision, perfect for depth perception and spotting movement among the leaves. The feathered crest, which it can raise at will, acts like a satellite dish, helping direct sound toward its ears, amplifying the rustle of a branch or the cry of a frightened animal. Every part of this bird is a masterclass in evolution. The harpy eagle isn't just strong, it's purpose-built, a precision instrument of predation designed to dominate one of the world's most complex environments. If you were walking through the Amazon rainforest, you might never know a harpy eagle was nearby. And that's exactly how it wants it. The harpy is not a noisy hunter. It doesn't announce its presence with screeches or soaring displays. It prefers silence. A ghost in the canopy, watching, waiting, calculating. This bird doesn't chase, it ambushes, and few predators in the natural world are as efficient at it. What makes the harpy eagle such a lethal hunter isn't just its size or strength, but its complete mastery of stealth. It can perch motionless on a branch for hours, scanning the trees with laser focus. It listens for the rustle of leaves, the chatter of monkeys, the subtle snap of a twig. Then, when the moment is right, it launches, not with chaos, but with controlled power. A short burst, a few flaps of its broad wings, and it closes the distance in seconds. Most of its prey never knows what hit them. The harpy hunts animals that live in the treetops: monkeys, sloths, opossums, iguanas, even large birds. These animals have adapted to life in the trees, where they feel safe from ground predators. But nothing protects them from an attack that comes from above, silent as wind. The harpy grabs its prey with its talons, often killing it instantly from the sheer force of the impact, then flies away with its catch clutched tightly, disappearing once more into the foliage. What's even more remarkable is how it can carry such large animals. A harpy eagle can lift prey that weighs nearly its own body weight, sometimes up to 9 kilograms, and fly off without struggle. Imagine lifting a person your size above your head and running through a forest. That's what the harpy does in the air. Its silence, patience, and brute force make it one of the most feared predators in the rainforest. But for all its power, it never hunts for sport. It kills only what it needs. In a jungle where everything fights to survive, the harpy doesn't just hunt. It dominates quietly and with terrifying precision. The harpy eagle's world exists almost entirely above the ground. In a vertical realm where vines hang like ropes, branches twist into natural highways, and light filters in fragmented rays through the dense canopy. It is here, far from predators and competition, that the harpy finds its home. Unlike most birds of prey that nest on cliffs or open spaces, the harpy builds its nest in the fork of gigantic emergent trees, the tallest in the rainforest, sometimes over 40 meters above the forest floor. These nests are architectural marvels, measuring up to 1.5 meters deep and more than 1.5 meters wide, made from massive branches and lined with softer materials like leaves and animal fur. They're not temporary shelters, but long-term residences, reused and maintained for years. A breeding pair of harpies will often return to the same nest season after season, enlarging it each time and carefully guarding it like a fortress. Harpies are monogamous and incredibly devoted partners. Once a pair bonds, they stay together for life, raising one chick at a time. The reason for this slow reproduction is tied to the sheer amount of care the chick requires. After laying a single egg, the parents alternate between hunting and guarding the nest. When the chick hatches, it remains in the nest for up to 6 months before even attempting its first flight. And, even after fledging, it depends on its parents for food and protection for another 6 to 10 months. This slow reproductive cycle is both a testament to the harpy's parental dedication and a vulnerability. With such a long gap between offspring, any threat to one nest, whether from deforestation or human interference, can have devastating effects on the population. Still, watching a harpy couple care for their young is a powerful glimpse into the emotional intelligence and deep instinctual bond of these majestic creatures. Up there, in a cradle built into the clouds, life begins for the next ruler of the jungle sky. From the very start, harpy chicks are trained to survive in a world where stealth, strength, and patience are key, and their parents are the perfect teachers. From the moment a harpy eagle chick hatches, it begins a slow but extraordinary transformation. At first, it's a fragile ball of white down, awkward and helpless, with oversized feet and a beak that seems too large for its soft face. But within this tiny, clumsy creature lies the blueprint of one of the most formidable hunters on Earth. Over the following months, it will grow in strength, intelligence, and skill, all under the watchful eyes of its devoted parents. Harpy parents are attentive in ways that surprise even experienced biologists. They feed the chick with fresh meat every few days, usually from monkeys or sloths, carefully prepared and delivered to the nest. The chick remains grounded in the nest for the first 5 to 6 months of its life, growing slowly but steadily. Unlike many birds that fledge quickly and are pushed to independence early, the harpy chick is allowed to mature in safety, absorbing lessons from every movement of its parents. This extended childhood serves a crucial purpose. In the complex, three-dimensional world of the rainforest canopy, hunting is not a skill learned overnight. It requires precision, awareness, and timing. The young harpy watches how its parents land, how they scan the trees, how they carry prey. Even without formal training, the chick is learning through imitation and instinct. At around 6 months, the fledgling begins to flap its wings, testing the strength it's been building for months. Its first flights are clumsy and short, more like glides from branch to branch. But soon, those early flutters become graceful arcs through the trees. Even then, it continues to rely on its parents for food and support, often staying within their territory for up to 2 years before finally setting off on its own. This long dependency makes harpy eagles unique among birds of prey. It reflects not only their complex behavior, but also the demanding nature of the world they inhabit. Raising a single chick is an investment, a careful, patient effort to produce a predator capable of surviving alone in one of the most challenging environments on the planet. While the harpy eagle may be the undisputed ruler of the rainforest canopy, its kingdom is far more fragile than it appears. The dense jungles of South and Central America may seem vast and impenetrable, but they are under constant pressure. Every year, thousands of hectares of forest are lost to logging, agriculture, and human expansion, and with every tree that falls, the harpy eagle's world becomes smaller, quieter, and more dangerous. The harpy depends on old-growth forests, particularly massive emergent trees like the kapok and Brazil nut tree, which serve as critical nesting sites. These giants take centuries to grow and are often the first to be cut down. When they disappear, so do the harpy's nests, hunting grounds, and safety. And because harpies reproduce slowly, raising just one chick every 2 to 3 years, the impact of even a single lost nest is profound. Beyond deforestation, hunting and poaching also threaten the harpy. In some regions, it's mistakenly seen as a danger to livestock or feared as a bad omen. Even though it rarely attacks anything outside its natural prey, these myths persist. Some locals kill the bird simply because of its size and intimidating appearance, not realizing they're removing a vital predator that helps maintain the balance of the ecosystem. What's tragic is how little is known about the harpy in the wild. Its secretive nature means many people living near its habitat have never seen one. For scientists, finding active nests or observing behavior often requires climbing 40-meter trees or tracking elusive movements through thick jungle. This lack of visibility makes it harder to rally public support or funding for its protection. Despite all of this, conservation efforts are growing. Organizations across Latin America are working with local communities, educating people about the harpy's importance, and even using ecotourism to turn the bird into a symbol of pride. In places like Panama and Brazil, camera traps and GPS trackers are giving researchers new insights into harpy behavior and helping guide efforts to protect its habitat. The harpy may be powerful, but it cannot fight bulldozers or bullets. It needs our help. And if we lose it, we're not just losing a bird. We're losing a living symbol of the rainforest's wild, untamed soul. In every ecosystem, predators play a vital role in maintaining balance. The harpy eagle is no exception. Though it may not hunt in packs or cover vast territories like a jaguar, its presence alone helps shape the rainforest. By preying on medium-sized mammals like monkeys and sloths, the harpy keeps certain populations in check, populations that, if left uncontrolled, could overconsume vegetation or disrupt the delicate web of life in the canopy. For example, some monkey species are known to strip entire sections of trees bare, damaging the forest's ability to regenerate. But with the harpy eagle patrolling the treetops, these animals must stay alert, constantly moving, avoiding open spaces. This predation pressure leads to more cautious behavior, which in turn allows vegetation to thrive. In this way, the harpy indirectly supports the very trees it uses to nest and hunt. What makes the harpy's role so unique is how specialized it is. It doesn't roam from biome to biome or adapt easily to new environments. It needs thick jungle, tall trees, and dense canopy. Remove one piece of that equation and the entire system begins to crumble. The harpy is a keystone species, a predator whose presence influences the entire ecosystem. Its disappearance would send ripples through the food chain, affecting everything from the plants on the forest floor to the birds that share its sky. And yet, despite this vital role, many people still don't know the harpy exists. Ask someone to name a bird of prey, and they'll likely say eagle, hawk, or owl. Few will mention the harpy, even though it dwarfs most of its cousins in both size and strength. It is both essential and invisible. A guardian that asks for no recognition, only the chance to keep doing what it's done for thousands of years. The rainforest, though teeming with life, is a place of constant competition. But in this hidden world above the ground, the harpy eagle is the quiet force that keeps the wheel turning, ensuring that no one species dominates and that the jungle remains wild, balanced, and alive. It's hard to forget the face of a harpy eagle once you've seen it. There's something deeply unsettling and deeply mesmerizing about its expression. With large, piercing eyes set on a forward-facing face, a curved, razor-sharp beak, and a crown of raised feathers that fan out like a warrior's helmet, the harpy doesn't just look powerful. It looks intelligent, almost human. In fact, many people who see close-up images for the first time compare the harpy's face to that of a stern, watchful elder. It stares back at you with an intensity that makes it feel as if it's reading your thoughts. This haunting appearance is more than just visual drama. Evolution crafted it for survival. The forward-facing eyes grant binocular vision, giving the harpy incredible depth perception, crucial for judging distance as it swoops through the dense canopy to strike prey with absolute precision. Its facial disc, similar to that of owls, can subtly change shape to direct sound toward its ears, allowing it to locate even the faintest rustle in the trees below. But its appearance has also sparked imagination beyond science. In ancient legends and indigenous tales, the harpy was often depicted as a spirit of the jungle, a messenger from the gods, or a guardian watching from the shadows. Some cultures believed the bird could guide souls. Others feared it as a symbol of death. That duality between admiration and fear continues to this day. It is beautiful and terrifying, elegant and primal. This iconic face has made the harpy a powerful ambassador for conservation. Its image is used in logos, murals, and educational campaigns across Latin America. In schools, children learn to recognize it as a symbol of pride and protection. In ecotourism, travelers now venture deep into the rainforest hoping for a glimpse, not just of a bird, but of a legend in flight. In a world where wildlife often fades into the background, the harpy's face demands to be seen, and once it locks eyes with you, even through a screen, something primal awakens. A quiet reminder that we share this earth with beings as old, complex, and worthy of wonder as ourselves. Despite its mystery and power, the harpy eagle's future now rests in human hands, and across Latin America, a quiet movement is growing, a movement led not just by scientists but by farmers, children, indigenous leaders, and everyday people who've come to see the harpy not as a threat but as a treasure worth protecting. In communities once fearful of the eagle's presence, there are now signs, murals, and even festivals celebrating its role in the rainforest. One of the most powerful aspects of this shift has come from direct involvement. In places like Brazil, Panama, and Ecuador, conservation groups are training locals to become forest guardians. These individuals track nesting sites, educate others, and even guide tourists to safe viewing areas. Their work creates jobs, instills pride, and spreads awareness far beyond the borders of the forest. It's no longer about protecting the harpy from people. It's about empowering people to protect the harpy. Technology is also playing a crucial role. GPS transmitters and drone footage now allow researchers to monitor the movements of individual birds across vast territories, mapping migration paths, hunting zones, and nesting habits with unprecedented detail. This data helps shape policies that safeguard key habitats, enforce anti-poaching laws, and connect fragmented forest patches into protected corridors. But perhaps the most meaningful change comes from the emotional connection people are forming with the harpy. Children in rainforest villages now grow up knowing the eagle's name, recognizing its call, and dreaming of spotting one in the wild. Artists paint its face across city walls. Teachers use it as a symbol of ecological balance. The harpy is becoming more than a bird. It's a bridge between nature and humanity, a living reminder of what we still have to lose and what we still have the power to save. In the end, the survival of the harpy eagle is not just about saving a species. It's about choosing to live in a world where wonder still exists, where ancient creatures still soar, and where the wild still has a voice. As we near the end of our journey into the world of the harpy eagle, one truth becomes impossible to ignore. This bird is more than a predator. It's a symbol of strength, patience, resilience, and the delicate thread that connects all life within the rainforest. The harpy isn't just surviving in its environment, it is the environment. It reflects the health of the forest, the balance of species, and the ancient pulse of nature that still beats deep beneath the canopy. When a harpy eagle soars, it carries with it a story that began long before humans carved roads through the jungle or drew borders on maps. Its ancestors ruled the skies for millennia, witnessing the rise and fall of empires, the migration of tribes, and the slow evolution of the land itself. And yet, despite its ancient lineage, the harpy remains a mystery, rarely seen, rarely heard, a ghost that watches from the treetops, reminding us that some parts of the wild were never meant to be tamed. But even legends need protection. The rainforest is shrinking, the world is warming, and the future of creatures like the harpy hangs in the balance. Still, there is hope. Not in grand gestures, but in quiet, determined action. Every tree preserved, every nest protected, every child taught to value what so many have forgotten. These are the steps that ensure the harpy will continue to fly for generations to come. And maybe, just maybe, the next time someone looks up at the jungle canopy and sees a great shadow pass silently overhead, they'll pause, not in fear, but in awe, because they'll know what it means. That somewhere out there, the sky still belongs to a creature too powerful to break, too rare to ignore, and too important to lose. If this story fascinated you, let me know in the comments what you thought. Suggest the next bird you'd love to learn about. And don't forget to share this video with someone who loves nature as much as you do. Your support keeps this channel flying. And if you want to dive deeper, check out the ebook, The Ultimate Bird Facts Collection, 30 Surprising Truths, for just $7.99, linked below.